Hey, it is Damon Frank with Recovered Life, and I'm here again with our absolute favorite life and recovery strategist, George Snyder. How you doing, George?
Hey, Damon, good to see you. Always good to see you. We have fun doing this.
We do. And I was laughing at the end because, I really enjoy doing these because we always have a chuckle. I always learn something
Yeah,
and I always leave better off than when I came, right? That's the magic combination for me.
I've been learning a
But
lot.
yeah, and this one particularly, when I decided that I was going to ask you some questions on this specific topic, I thought, ooh, this is going to be a doozy. This one's going to be good. And let's tell everybody what the topic that I'm going to talk with you about is tolerance. Tolerance is a topic. And I have to tell you, that's all you hear typically in recovery is be tolerant, be tolerant, be tolerant, tolerant of others. People aren't like you. Everybody's the same, right? Like you hear this constantly, but as the host of the old school men's mastermind group, when you dove into this in a session, what I want to know is, and the big question is, why is being tolerant so important in recovery?
I think as we share our narratives, as we share our stories, you realize how you're constructing your own reality. And what I think of you creates my reality. What you think of me creates yours. So you see how so it becomes important because it's building not the world outside of you, but the world that you're inhabiting.
Yes.
They We're a cross section. We're a diverse group of guys. Just in our own group. We have diversity. We have a full range of socioeconomic status, et cetera, et cetera. But we identify, as we said before, you identify in recovery through your weaknesses, through what brought you here, or your vulnerability, rather than your strengths. So when you begin to realize that everybody else is fighting a battle, everybody else has come here not at their best. It's not like you come to recovery and saying, "My life is so fantastic. I think this will just make it a little bit better." Be the cherry on top. It's not that at all. So we come
Exactly.
in kind of beaten down. It's useful as we begin to rebuild our story on who we are and what we're doing here to be tolerant of the others. But it's about the way we frame our own reality, I think.
Yeah. And and I think too, a lot of what I found through, attending this particular session was, and what I heard from, like you said, this cross section of people that we have in there is that, tolerance is a thinking issue and it's a listening issue as well. It's the
Right.
inability to listen because you've already pre-framed what you think's going to happen. And the impact that I learned about specifically from the old school mastermind was when I stopped listening, I stopped growing. So it's not about, many people think it's like have no boundaries, do whatever, and so many people come in with codependency issues. It's not, tolerance isn't that. You can have boundaries and you can stand up for yourself and you can assert your opinion. But tolerance is about being able to listen without having this huge, massive emotional reaction and just shutting everything down.
Well, and so much of it is for me is about suspending my judgment. If I can get there, because my judgment, I use judgment as a defense. I think I know what you think of me. I'm a bad psychic, but I think I know what you think of me, and so I'm gonna come out right. And who do you think you are? You're not so hot. So then I justify treating you badly because I'm projecting what I think. No, it it defeats. I got to suspend that judgment, and I do that if I can be if I have the opportunity to be in a group of people and get to hear other people's stories and
Yeah.
begin
And
to
yeah.
identify.
Yeah. And a lot of it we discussed were tools and strategies about how to frame your thinking at the very beginning to slow yourself down. So you're not in this combative place right off where, right from go. I could tell you some of the most amazing things that have happened in recovery are people that when I first met them, I would say, one, I'm never going to be their friend. Two, I can't stand them. Like, and then literally within a year period of time, calling one of those people one of my very good friends, right?
Right.
Because I was able to slow down and listen to what we had in common.
Right. Again, that kind of identification, realize if I can just be neutral, if I can just give myself the space to be able to listen. And I have had people, my head fills with white noise. I feel fear coming up. I don't know this. I project, I think I know. But if I can just give myself that pause, if I can be neutral, if I can wait to find out. And so often I'm surprised. So I was surprised in this group of people I would not have expected that kind of kindness, compassion.
Yeah.
And where does that come from? That comes from, I'm going to let you off the hook. I'm going to let you off the hook and let you have your moment. And then we move forward, right?
Yeah. I agree. And I think if I usually ask you, George, for the big takeaway, but I think I'll even mention the big takeaway here. It's training your mind to be neutral at the beginning. And wouldn't you say, is to not rush in with all these preconceived notions about people and being able to just stop and listen for a bit.
Yeah. You don't know. And that's a very, very powerful statement. I don't know, but it's a very difficult one to get to for me at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And it's been in recovery where I can watch people I respect and admire say, gee, I don't know, but I'll find out. Or, gee, I don't know, what do you think? And that interaction, that sharing of our stories, opening that space. And I really think that's where real progress, real growth in a really fully recovered life happens. When we create that space, it allows us both to have a new experience, right?
Absolutely. George, you've given us some real gems here. Thank you so much. This was really fun.
Always fun.
And yes, it is. It's always fun when we get together. And if you want to know more about the Old School Men's Mastermind Group, in this article here, I am going to put a link to George Snyder, and you can send him a quick chat message on Recovered Life, right?
Yeah, on Recovered Life.
All right.
Thanks,
we will
Damon.
see you there. And everybody practice being tolerant.
Nice.
Bye.